Hello everybody and welcome back to Crowns. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the Great Adventure Bible from Ascension Press. We'll do a quick flip through just to give you an idea of the text block, and then we'll get a little bit more in depth. Okay, we'll talk about the font size, the paperweight, and things like that. And then lastly, in the conclusion, I'll try my best to try to answer the question of who is this Bible right for. But just real quickly before we get into the review, I want to mention the Crowns Discord server. The invite link will be down in the description below, as well as my bio. Just building a small Christian community over there where we can talk about Bibles and books, mainstream media, just an overall discussion forum. Other than that, let's get into the review. Okay, so here is the outside box of the Great Adventure Bible. Pretty hefty, good quality clamshell box. A little bit of information there on the outside. Then you'll get your features on the back here as well. So some of the things we'll go over is the color-coded learning system, Bible in a Year reading plan, color-coded catechism references, explanatory articles, key events, so on and so forth. We'll go over that in the flip through and kind of give you an idea of what you'll be seeing when you actually are in the Bible. So opening that up there, you can see very, very nice brown goat skin leather there. Taking a look at that exterior cover, very flexible, very supple goat skin, what you would expect from a goat skin cover. You're going to get your Holy Bible there in gold. You're going to get your imprinted Great Adventure logo, that compass. I've never been a huge fan of the big compass. I know some people like it, some people don't like it. I hope that in future editions they remove that altogether. I'm just a big fan of more simple covers. Here on the spine, we've got some very chunky raised hubs there on the spine. And then we have some more gold work as well with Holy Bible, again with the Great Adventure logo. Revised Standard Version 2nd Catholic Edition, and then the Ascension Press logo down there at the bottom. You're going to get your perimeter stitch that goes all the way around the perimeter of the Bible, front, back. Opening up the Bible, we'll see you've got a nice hefty segment of reinforcement tape in there, and then you will have that gold perimeter line as well. Get your information about the goatskin leather cover itself. The liner itself will be calfskin. So goatskin on the exterior, calfskin on the interior. And construction is just overall really nice, and you can tell that just from the cover itself. I mean, look at the corner work. Really beautiful corner work. Sometimes you can get Bibles that will have the perimeter stitch and they can get kind of rough, but overall, very, very nice. Taking a look now at the gold gilded edges, really nicely done. They're not an art gild, so you're not going to get like an underlying color, you know, like it'll look gold on the outside, and then when you open it, it kind of turns red or pink. Just a very straightforward gold gild. You're going to get your kind of a beige tan tail bands, headbands. Very simple, nothing too distracting. And then as you can tell, you are going to get 3 ribbons, which are nice, beefy ribbons that are going to last a very long time. Now the color coding, to help you keep everything in order in terms of kind of a chronological timeline, you will see those peeking through that gold gild. I don't think that's a pro or a con, it's just how it is. It doesn't bother me. Get some nice hefty cardstock leaflets there towards the front. Presentation page, Holy Bible, publisher information page. Then you'll get your print information. It was actually printed in China, but the text block itself was done over in, what is that, 2K Denmark. Now, I think that's really how they're getting to provide such a nice Bible at a low price, because a goatskin leather Bible at $125, definitely not common. So the fact that they were able to do that is, I would assume, almost entirely due to the fact that it was printed in China versus, you know, like Youngbloods out in the Netherlands or something like that. I know India Bibles are pretty good. Just because it's printed out in China doesn't mean that it's low quality or anything like that. I mean, obviously, they did a fantastic job with this. Get a little bit of information about the contributors. You get your books of the Bible, Old Testament, New Testament, and then the books of the Bible in alphabetical order. Get your indexes and abbreviations. If you look really closely right there, I don't remember what it's called, but it's like the print guidelines. Kind of see that blue peeking through right there. But you can actually see the stitching right there as well. That is Smith sewn binding. Index of articles, forward, introduction, lots of literature here at the front. And then it'll give you a rundown of some of the features of the Bible, such as the color tab says every book of this Bible is color coded to indicate where that book belongs in the Bible timeline system, which helps you to understand where it fits within the overall story. And that's really the big feature of the Great Adventure Bible. And it's kind of in the name itself, right? It helps you stay grounded in the historical aspect of the Bible itself. Sometimes we can get a little, I think, ungrounded if we're reading like just a plain text Bible. What this will do is the color tabs will just help you stay grounded in terms of the chronological order of the Bible and the overall story, which ultimately leads up to Christ. So it's kind of cool. So that's the main selling point of the Bible itself, is just that, you're going to get the Bible in a year reading plan, and then you're going to get the color coded. So those two combined makes it a really great reader's edition Bible. You're going to get Words of Christ in red. You'll get Catechism of the Catholic Church references, key event markers. You'll get articles, reading plans, key events, timeline chart pages, and then maps. And then right here at the front, here's your narrative and supplemental books. And then you'll get your Bible timeline reading plan, Bible in a year reading plan, which of course you can do alongside Father Mike Schmitz and his Bible in a Year podcast. You'll get some more literature here as well, how to interpret the Bible. Lectio Divina, encountering God through powerful reading of the scriptures. And then you will begin to enter into the Old Testament in Genesis. So when you approach a new book of the Bible, this is the format that you're going to see. You'll get your bird's eye timeline. You'll get your color tab for that, and then it'll give you an idea of where this fits into the overall story of the Bible. And then you'll get your article over here, kind of give you a summary of the early world, narrative, significance, the covenants of salvation history, covenant at creation, and then you will hop into Genesis. Now, this will give you a general idea of what the Bible itself will look like. So you will get some study helps down here at the bottom. You'll get a little bit of footnotes, and then you'll get your references. And then these are those key event tabs that we saw on the feature list. As you're reading, it'll give you a call out. So this is key event 2. So you would come up here to key event 2, read about the fall. Once you get down here to verse 8, it'll give you a shout out for key event 3. Come back up here, there's key event 3. As you can tell though, the study helps and everything, very simple, very basic, but they do that on purpose because they're trying to keep the daily reading experience very clean and very simple so that anybody of all ages can follow along. And not just physical age, but also spiritual age, right? So a lot of catechists within the Catholic Church will recommend the Great Adventure Bible for the younger audience, so like teenagers, like elementary school kids and things like that, because it's very simple. It's a great introduction into understanding the Bible as a whole. It's good for new Christians. It's good for adult converts, just to give you an overall understanding. And then, but it doesn't have to just be that, right? It's also good for, let's say you've been a Catholic for all your life and you just want a very clean interface when it comes to your daily reading Bible. Then it's good for that too, right? Here you'll get some more information, and you'll get information and graphics like this scattered throughout the Bible as well, giving you more of an understanding of the timeline. There's another article right here explaining the covenant with Abraham. All of these like little sections of the Bible will be color coded for you. Because of that nice Smith sewn binding, the Bible does lay flat really nicely. Okay, so skipping ahead to the New Testament, we'll get a whole new section of literature here, get an introduction to the Messianic fulfillment, along with that timeline as well right here. Kind of give you guys a rough idea of this type of study hopes you'll get here. And then you'll hop into the book of Matthew. Again, words of Christ will be in red. I don't know how well it'll show on camera, but it's a very, I would say, soft red, a very comfortable red color. I know sometimes with Bibles, when they do their red lettering, it can get very, almost unpleasant to the eye to read for a while, especially when you get to sections of the New Testament where, you know, Jesus is speaking a lot and laying out sermons. Again, you'll get your cross references here down at the bottom. So once you approach the end of the Bible here, you're going to get several pages of blank paper for notes, and then you'll hop into your full color maps. Nice selection of maps here printed on cardstock. And then that is it. No concordance or anything like that. Just notes and maps, and that would conclude your Bible. Okay, so real quickly, just to wrap up this review, we'll go over some of the specs for all the nerds out there like myself who like to know exactly what they're getting themselves into. We'll talk about the paper first. Many of you will be pleased to know that the paper is a very beefy 40 GSM. What that means is that it's going to handle your underlining, your writing, and your highlighting without any issues. Now keep in mind here, you are going to have smaller margins. So if you're a really big note taker, the standard edition might not be what you're looking for. You may want to look into the note taker's edition, which is going to expand those margins and give you a lot more space to take notes. Now when it comes to the font size itself, you're looking at a 9.5 for the standard version. If you need something a little larger than that, they do offer the large print edition. But whenever you're looking into which edition of the Great Adventure Bible you want to get, you'll have to make some sacrifices because not every edition is going to come in the premium. Okay, so I believe the note taker and the large print only come in the, I want to say, paperback and mid-range, you know, like the fake leather cover. And then if you want the Espanol Bible, I believe that only comes in the paperback. And if you want the premium goatskin leather, then you'll have to go with a pretty standard Bible. So it'll be the standard font, standard margins, so on and so forth. So you'll have to kind of work out what really matters to you. Do you want longevity of the Bible? Then you're probably gonna have to go goatskin. But if you're just, you know, a really big note taker and you like to have notes in your Bible, then you'll have to sacrifice on the longevity of the Bible and kick down to the mid-range and get that faux leather. Now when it comes to the sizing of the Bible, it's going to be roughly 14.5 inches wide when opened. When closed though, you're going to be looking at about 9 3/4 on the length and about 6.5 on the width, and then the thickness is going to be pushing you just under 2 inches there on the thickness of the Bible itself. So there are your number measurements for all the nerds. But if you're a visual learner like myself, here is a Baofeng UV5R ham radio, which I would imagine just about everybody has. So that'll give you an idea of the size for you. Now, if you're the oddball that does not have a Baofeng on you, here is a 3.25 inch Helgermite. If you're a nerd, it is from the Bass Pro Shop XPS line. So that should give you an idea of the overall sizing of the Bible. So there is just a few items to give you some visual sizing comparison to. So hope that helps. You're welcome. As you can see, it's a fantastic Bible that really is premium, and at the price point that they're asking for, I really do think it's a great deal. I think it's a really good option if you're trying to find yourself a really nice daily reader's Bible. Some people don't really want a big, heavy study Bible that they can get lost in. They just want a very simple interface that they can open up their Bible, do their daily readings, and then kind of have just a little bit of guidance. There's somebody that's perhaps not quite looking for a study Bible that's going to dive, super deep into the theology and the doctrines and the historical context and, word studies and the Greek and the Hebrew and, so on and so forth. So if you're that type of person where you just want something more simple, then I really do think this is an excellent option that you should definitely take advantage of, because again, it has fantastic construction. It's got that nice goatskin leather cover, and it's got a beautiful text block, all for about $125 for the premium version, which I mean, that's the one that I would go with. But if you don't quite want to spend that money, then you've also got the cheaper paperback version to look at and the mid-range version as well. With that being said, I hope you all enjoyed this review. And if you did, be sure to hit the like button. And if you just didn't like the review, that's completely okay. Just be sure to hit that dislike button twice so that I know you didn't like it. And if you like this kind of content and you'd like to see more of it pop up on your feed from time to time, be sure to subscribe. As always, if you're interested in purchasing this Bible, be sure to check the description box down below. Using those affiliate links is an excellent way to show me some support. In fact, this entire review itself was only possible due to people using those affiliate links. I was able to purchase this Bible off Amazon with the little bit of money that I earned from them. With that being said, I hope you all have a beautiful week, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.